Oh, shit. I left my pint glass. Fuck. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. All right. I'm not even going to cut that out. That's staying in. Beautiful. I mean, I'll cut the part where I wasn't here, obviously. Yeah.
Did you hear that the whole time?
No, what was it? What?
Oh, well, that's going to be a magic surprise for you.
Oh, I can't wait. I love editing surprise. I love it. I'm just going along like, oh.
Nice.
Oh, we'll stay out late to masturbate and hang out with our friends. We'll share a few good micro brews, the good times never end. From seaside to the mountains, we'll travel many lands. Eateth of their pub cuisine and hear their local bands. We'll drink it from a bottle in a can or what's on tap. We'll rate each brew as we do with fairness and a map. Spirits are up, we'll fill our cup, the wind is in our sails. We'll drunkenly mix metaphors and travel hoppy trails.
Welcome back to Hoppy Trails, a show where we just want to get to know you a little bit.
We just want to get to know you, baby.
Just want to know you. Just want to ask you a couple of questions. How are you? How you doing? How you brewing?
Wait, I think we're answering those questions now. I think so.
Oh yeah. How
Yeah.
are we doing?
How are we doing?
Brewing? Yeah.
Horribly.
So I posted up a couple of pictures maybe on our Discord. I don't think I put it up on the Instagram yet. Who knows? Maybe I did. But I did on the flat top. I took 5 pounds of chicken leg meat, which you can buy in bags.
Which you
5 pound
spelled it
bag.
as chicken keg meat. And I started thinking, what is chicken keg meat? I
Oh,
want chicken keg meat.
dude. That's actually a good idea. You know what? You know what? This is a victory. This is a victory because for the past 5 goddamn years, every time I type keg, it autocorrects to leg. Even when it says leg and I hit the X, I'm like, not leg. And then I hit space and it's like, you meant leg. Fuck you. And so,
Yeah,
but
because
now
everybody has beer legs.
that's it. Who doesn't have beer leg? Now I type leg and it autocorrects it to keg. So fuck you, autocorrect. I win.
AI
I
for the
win.
win.
But so I did the 5 pounds of chicken leg meat, chopped it up, threw it on the flat top with the what do they call this? The shit. That seasoning that
I
you
hope
find at
not
ramen
shit.
restaurants. It's like it's not a poop. It's a
Oh,
no. It's
Togarashi.
something. What is it?
Togarashi?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Is
And
it
so
Togarashi? I'm not so sure if I'm saying it correctly, but it's something toe and rashi.
it'll say right here what it is, and I'll have a picture of it right there. But so I covered the chicken in that, let that cook for a little bit, and then I threw a pound of raw cashews on there, tossed it up, let that cook for a bit.
Cashews.
Then I got a 5-pound bag of coleslaw mix from Smart and Final, right? So doesn't have the dressing or anything like that, but it's a bunch of green cabbage,
Shredded
some red
cabbage and
cabbage, and
everything.
some
Yeah.
shredded carrots.
Makes it easy.
5 pounds. Yeah, it makes it easy if you need to feed a bunch of people.
Nobody got time to chop up a bunch of fucking cabbage.
Not 5 pounds? Hell no. Hell
Not
no.
enough cabbage.
Your cabbage! You know that? Your cabbage! Sticky man! You got cabbage in your mouth!
No muff cabbage.
So I throw that whole thing on next to the chicken, let that start cooking, salt it up real nice, and then hit that with some soy vey, very, very teriyaki sauce, right? Let that start cooking. How good's that soy vey? Isn't that the best? So good. So once those are cooked and doing their thing, I mix them up, and then I take one of those Maui Gold pineapples, and I dice that up and throw it on the flat top. Dude, I love those Maui Gold pineapples.
I
telling
need to order one because I've had
Here's
one
the deal.
before in Maui, but that was it.
if you weren't gonna be out of town for, like, 9 months coming up soon, I would order you some. But what I'll do is when you get home, I'll order you some of these
So
pineapples
do they come straight from Maui?
straight from Maui.
Wow.
Rather than harvesting them early while they're still green because they gotta ship to a processing and this and this and this and all that, and then, a month later,
You
it ends up in
order
the
it,
grocery
they
store.
cut it off the plant, and then it's sent
Day
to my
of.
door.
They cut it at peak ripeness, put it in a box, and overnight it to your door.
Wow. That's
I
pretty
buy cases
incredible.
of 7 at a time, 21 to 23 pounds, I think, something like that. Ship
Holy
them straight to
crap.
my house, and
Jesus,
then
I
we go
thought I had
through
a
them.
thing for pineapple.
Dude, we go through them. Take one, dice it up in a big bowl, eat as much as you can, put it in the fridge, pull it out tomorrow, eat it, chop up the next one, and just boom, boom, boom
How
for like
long are
2
they
weeks.
good for? Like
Like 2
uncut?
weeks.
Oh,
2
okay.
weeks. Yeah, they're
2
great.
weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Good to
diced
know.
one of those up, throw it on the flat top, mix that all together. Boom. I've got my soft taco or taco bowl, kind of Asian-y Hawaiian fusion type thing going on. And look at this. Look at this right here. See this?
That is a
Oop,
great looking burrito. That is an
okay.
excellent toasting on that.
You
Did
see
you do that
that?
on your griddle?
No, I did that in a pan inside.
Okay.
Yeah. So once I had all the meat or the filling all cooked up, throw it in a big tub. Rest of the week, boom, just heat it up, throw it on a tortilla, wrap it up. You're good to go.
Big tub, like a
Easy.
5-gallon bucket or
That's you.
cool.
You need a 5-gallon bucket of burrito filling in your fridge at all times.
Hey man, if it's all the right nutritional values, I could eat that all week, all month long, to be honest.
And that's what I'm saying. It's chicken, it's cashews, it's
It's a bit
green and
nutty.
red cabbage, and it's pineapple. You
Okay,
know, little
excellent.
teriyaki sauce in there, but I mean, it's good vegetables and chicken. Nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
So
Excellent, man.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
believe that soy vey teriyaki, I mean, everybody knows teriyaki, it's a nice sweet sauce. It's usually what's behind that sweetness, a whole mess load of sugar. But
a lot of sugar.
that soy vey, very little sugar in that. I
Is it really
typically,
very low
yeah,
sugar?
I think I mean, low sugar is subjective. But
Yeah,
for teriyaki sauce, I
yeah.
think it was like 6 grams of sugar for a tablespoon.
Uh huh.
That's not that bad. I feel like your typical like Yoshida's is probably more like at least 11 to 14 grams of sugar in a 1 tablespoon.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
but the no, I've had that soy vey stuff before. It's really good teriyaki sauce.
Really,
So
a ton of flavor packed in there too, so you don't need a whole bunch of it.
for sure.
You splash a little bit of that on,
Soy vey
and
marketing team, if you're watching, listening, contact us. We
hit
like
us
your
up.
shit.
Hit us up. Contact the hobbytrailspod.com. Hit us up on the Instagram at hobbytrailspod. Yeah, it's no, it's really good because you're looking at you're looking at not too much teriyaki sauce for really what comes out to be like, I don't know, by the time it's all said and done with the pineapple and the pound of the cashews and everything like that, you're looking at 15 pounds of filling. It's not
Damn.
bad.
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
What do you drink in there?
The same it's the symphonic chronic.
You see, this is why we can't film out of order.
I know.
I
But
love it.
good thing I
It's like
have multiple cans.
you're like, I'm having the same as fuck what I crack next week. Shit.
Now I'm having another
Uh,
can of symphonic chronic.
there's a time machine.
So good.
I've got I've got Alvarado Street pills. Boom.
Oh,
Alvarado
that's a
Street
beautiful
pills.
looking can. It's
Isn't
very
that nice?
classy. That's like from some fucking Great Gatsby looking shit.
I'm Gatsby.
Isn't that fun? Yeah, Great Gatsby looking shit. That is for
Dude,
real,
that looks
man.
like it was stylized after the fancy bank they're in on Main Street there. Like
100%, man.
roll out the red carpet for that can.
It's a little 5.2er.
Nice. Well, I'm about to go reach into my fridgie here,
Reach in there. Get in there. See what you've got.
but
Pour this up.
I need to rinse this glass first.
Rinse it with beer. Give This fucking guy. Woo! Oh man, got it. Shit, got a little foam over spilling on my pants right now. God damn it. Okay, I'm a
It's okay.
mess.
If you don't
Ugh.
pee your pants,
All right, look at
you're not
this.
cool.
Hey, Billy peed his pants.
Of course I peed my pants. Everybody my age pees their pants. It's the coolest.
Really?
Yes, you ain't cool unless you pee your pants.
Wow.
Look at that.
Dude, I could see your face through it.
Right?
When
Can't
you
you?
edit this, yes, like perfectly.
Dude.
Dude, when you edit this is
Yeah.
you really should like do some kind of fisheye lens effect to zoom in on that because that's really cool.
Just clear and crispy, isn't it?
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
Beautiful.
it's so clear I can see your face through it. Just, backwards.
It's got that
Woo.
real light, just kind of almost straw type of malt character to it. Very little hop. I mean, it's nice. You could put these down.
Excellent. Well, I'm about to crack open this from Great Notion.
Ooh.
Micro Dankster. This was another April release series here.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't read what the can stamping says here. Something about a mongoose or some shit.
Yep. Mongoose.
Anyways, I again, love can art. This is a great label here.
Oh, look at that, man.
Yeah, playing the
That is
bongos and
cool.
everything.
I like that.
So this
That's
is
really
actually
cool.
a West Coast Pilsner. So I imagine so it's a dry hop Pilsner.
Yeah.
Done in collaboration with Cellar Maker Brewing.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
So Micro Dankster, it makes me think of Merry Prankster, which were the group that went around the country following the Grateful Dead, doing acid tests and things like that.
Yes. Well, so
and
Great
so
Notion actually has another beer that they've been
Uh-huh.
doing for a while called Marius Dankster.
Yes.
Yeah. And that actually has the hippie guy on the can label sticking his
Yeah.
tongue out with it's a little acid tab. I think it looks like a hop or something. But
Nice. Very nice.
yeah. Damn it, and there I go spilling beer again.
Dude, my pants are covered in what I'm gonna call beer.
Not spent
Let's
beer.
see that. What's that?
Not spent beer.
No.
See, I always
Unused
rag
beer.
handy because you never know.
Smart.
That was actually a bad reference there for people that have dirty minds. I won't worry about what's spilled on the carpet because the dogs will come and lick that up later.
It's getting worse, Nick. It's getting worse. Fuck.
Speaking of towels next to computers, this has a lot of head.
Look at that. Hey, I'll tell you what. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Oh, that's a beautiful looking beer there.
It is. You can't necessarily see my well, actually, hold on here.
Well, you got a lot of frost on that glass. That must have been a cold one.
You can kind of see my face through it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Freshly pulled from the fridge when I bent over there. So
yeah, absolutely.
But let's see here.
Is that a GBX glass?
You know it. Wow. That is I'm struggling to describe it. It's a beautiful Pilsner with like if you took a Pilsner and then you took that ASB hop water.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you added that hop water into this Pilsner. So it's a very, just a light hoppiness that's kind of floating in that Pilsner there. Wow, This is so fucking refreshing. Excuse me.
Oh, man.
Sorry, people. But this is a really refreshing beer.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice, man. Oh, that's great. Hey, great Notion. Always turning out some good stuff. I mean, literally, I don't think I've ever found one I didn't like from them. Yeah. Well, today's topic, if you don't know, if you couldn't tell, is we're gonna have a little fireside chat here. We're gonna open up. We're gonna let you behind the curtain. Let's get into who we are, right? What we do, how we got started here. Nick, how long have I known you, man?
28 years.
Is that what it is now?
Somewhere 27, 28 years.
Holy shit. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
We met freshman year of high school. which would have been
96,
96.
96, 97. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, the
28-ish
96,
years.
97 years. So 96 we met, freshman in high school. And yeah, man, we've known I mean we became friends very quickly and we've been close ever since. I think
Yeah.
not I think you are. You're my oldest friend, Nick. You're a 100%, not because you're older than me, which you are. And I like to remind people I'm not the oldest person on this podcast, but yeah, you are. You're
You're
my
not that
oldest
much
friend,
younger
Nick.
by much. So, um, and in reality, while I am 42,
Mm,
I feel like I'm probably, well, mentally, I'm 28, 30.
28.
Physically, probably like 55. Um, working on shifting those numbers around a little bit, starting to
Yeah.
feel more like I'm, 48.
Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, no, it's been a really long time. I think, like we met and everything, we hung out here and there, but I feel like our real bonding moment came when we started doing the, what was it called? The AM show.
The AM show.
um and yeah, like but wasn't until sophomore year, was it? Or was
That
that
was
freshman
well,
year? Or was it later freshman year, I think?
we started we started doing work with the productions end
Yeah.
of freshman year, and
Yes.
then sophomore
Sophomore, we were
year,
kind of taking that over
well, because
because the
the
previous
media
ones, they were
director,
seniors.
they were out, right?
Yeah.
Those guys were out, and then the media director quit like 2 weeks before school. Do you remember this? And we got contacted and they said, "Hey, you guys, your schedules are gonna change. So pick up your schedule on the first day of school." Because you remember they had to change
Yeah.
all of our schedules so we could run the show because there was no media director. And they're like, I don't know, these kids seem to know how this works.
And we did.
We did.
Barely. We made it work. Um
We
Honestly,
figured
I
it out.
that's that's my life in a nutshell.
Most of the
Um
Yeah, we made it work most of the time. Yeah, we did.
Still can't believe I, landed the job that I just did, having
Yeah,
0 experience in it and, no college education. So,
yeah.
that's, landing all the jobs that I've had in the past, it's all just been a means of figuring out how it all works and then doing the job. So,
You know, the funny thing is, Nick, how long has it been since you've had, like, a formal 9 to 5 job?
um, a little over 2 years.
A little over 2 years.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't know is during that time, yes, Nick has been doing this, but this isn't what pays the bills. As we've said before and we'll say again, this show doesn't even pay its own bills, right?
Yeah.
What Nick has been doing in the meantime is he has actually been an avid bank robber. And they call him the scourge of the West Coast, up and down the coast, just knocking off banks left and right. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it. He's in,
I
he's out.
honestly, I don't know how I do it because, then I keep the kitchen clean. I cook all the meals and everything, including the
Yeah,
dog's meals. I make fresh dog food,
fresh dog food.
all the yard work. It's a lot of work being a domesticated husband
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and a bank robber on top of that.
And robbing
Um,
banks on the side. Yeah,
Dude, like I'm glad that I finally landed this job because I'm just honestly, like, as much as fun as it is fun robbing banks, it's tiring.
tiring.
It wears me out.
Yeah.
And I can't go on much longer like this. And
You get
obviously, at some point, if I keep doing it, I'm gonna get caught. So might as well stop while I'm ahead.
if nothing else, you get a crick in your neck looking over your shoulder all the time. Yeah.
Jeez. Who says I haven't already?
uh,
Please put a disclaimer at the bottom when I'm like, Robert.
I will put Nick is not a bank robber anymore. as of as of today, Nick is not a bank robber. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not actually robbing banks, just one percenters.
Nick is out there Nick is out there setting the table for when it's time for us to eat the rich. Okay, he's got
I
the
wish.
rotisserie, got the Traeger. It's gonna be delicious.
Not so much a Traeger anymore. He's a camp chef.
That's right, the camp chef. That's right. I'm a camp chef, man. You're a camp chef, man.
uh,
You know what? That's actually that's an interesting place to go here because we are both easy bake oven proponents, are we not?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I saying it's the best way to smoke meat? Absolutely not.
No, of course not.
Is
Yeah,
it the easiest and the best way so that I can consume more beer and enjoy myself talking to other people? Yes.
yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, it's look, it's not it's not set it and forget it. I mean, it is, but it's also not because you gotta also know what you're doing, right? I mean, you've got to know how to mind it and check your temperatures and what have you. But
Yeah.
as far as the ways to smoke meat, it's the easiest. And Nick, you and I both we've done we've done charcoal, we've done stick burners and all of that. So we've done the hard way. We know how to do it.
We've
And
put in the
now,
work to get
yeah,
here to use our easy bake ovens.
that's it, and we feel like we've earned it now, and so we do it. Yeah,
Damn right.
yeah. Um,
uh,
Nick, you're a flat top owner, aren't you?
I am. I have my Blackstone.
Blackstone.
I actually sh- I haven't used it since last summer. And I was gonna get it all prepped up to use this summer, and then I was like, well, we're not gonna be here for much longer. So I'll wait to do that, when we get back. But I do love using my cast iron pans. Um,
Yeah,
so pretty much, anytime we do steaks or whatever, it's all in a cast iron pan. I do miss the ability to do like what you just made, like a fried rice
yeah.
type thing. But definitely when I get back, I want to go ahead and get it all cleaned up and ready so I can actually use it a lot. But
Yeah,
cast
the
iron it
cast
is.
iron pan is wonderful if you're doing, especially if you're just doing like, hey, we're just doing dinner for tonight. Perfect, very
For sure.
easy. Fire it up on the stove. You don't have to fire up the whole thing, and then, I mean, you got to do your cleanup and what have you. But on the flat top, it's a little bit more to clean up and season and everything, get it ready for next time. But as you said, with the flat top, if you want to make some food for the week, very easy,
Oh yeah,
very
for
easy.
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have the Camp Chef is the flat top I went with. But I remember I first got turned on to the flat top with your Blackstone. I think you smoked up like a 2 or 2.5 inch thick ribeye, smoked it up, and then you
And then
finished
it
it on that
seared it on the
Blackstone. I was
Blackstone.
like,
Yeah.
my
Those
God, what
were
is
the
happening?
uh those were the Piedmontese steaks from Zanato's.
That's right. Yeah,
Big old
yeah.
fat ribeye steaks.
Ooh, they were serious, man. And
Yeah,
Zanato's, if you're in the South Bay area, you know about Zanato's. They've
they're the
got what,
they're the
3
go-to market.
locations?
Um yes, Willow Glen, Rose Garden, and maybe that's it. Never mind.
At least the 2. Yeah.
At least the two.
Yeah, wonderful spot. But so, I mean, speaking of the South Bay area, that's where we both grew up, spent most of our time,
Yep.
and, I went off to, Chico for a little bit, then down to San Diego, where I did college, met my wife and what have you, and then came back up to the Bay. So there was a period of, I don't know what, maybe 6 years or something like that, where, we saw each other very infrequently,
That
right?
or we didn't talk at all.
Yeah.
I think let's see here. There was a while there, like I definitely when you were in Chico, I don't think we had communicated much.
No.
And then you made the move to San Diego. I think you had already been there for a bit. When I moved down to and I lived in LA for about a year.
That's right.
And that's when I came down and visited you and everything.
Yes.
Um, and then what was it? I ended up moving back to San Jose. And I think just a few years later, you ended up moving back to San Jose and you lived in the North San Jose area, close
That's
to
right.
where Levi Stadium is.
I mean,
Um,
walking distance to Levi's
walking
Stadium.
distance. Yeah. Um, and I think that once you got moved back, we just kind of reunited and
Yeah.
um, you know, that's all she wrote. I mean, we've basically been in constant contact since then.
Yeah.
I think that was probably 2000. 2010 or so, around
Yeah,
there.
2010.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and here we are in 2024, and it was, yeah, I moved then down to the Monterey area in, earlier mid 2016, I think it was.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because that was it
Yeah,
was around the time that I started my previous job.
that's right. That's right. And then you and Monica would come down all the time.
Yep.
Steph and I would go up infrequently. You would come down to see us all the time. You always made the drive, which is wonderful. And then after a while, you got ready to move up to Oregon.
Yeah. And then that's how
Yeah.
this kinda came to be. I know that we recorded the first episode, the pilot, um, in that little kinda spare room slash shack thing
Yeah.
at the house you were living at in Salinas. Um,
The unlicensed, unattached 20 by 15 building
we'll
in
call
the
it
back.
the entertainment room, I
The
guess.
entertainment room as it
Yeah.
was.
It was a
Held
cool
the
little
keg
room though.
fridge.
Yeah, for
Yeah, it was
sure. It had
great.
the keg fridge in it and everything. And that's where we recorded our pilot episode.
Yeah.
And what was it? Probably, I think that was 2019, actually.
It was it was shortly before the pandemic shut down, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was like September or October 2019, somewhere in
Yeah.
there, or maybe
Because
even November 2019.
okay, here's what it was. We recorded it about our trip the previous weekend, or maybe 1 or 2 weekends before that we went to Epidemic. And Epidemic, we sat outside, and that was the first place that I saw that had outdoor seating because of the pandemic.
Well, no, but that was already well into the pandemic. I think that was around like
Yeah.
September or October, where places
Yeah,
were
so
starting to.
that's what I think it was. It must have been
But I
into
think,
the pandemic.
but the pilot episode though we recorded before pandemic.
Did we?
Yes,
All right, maybe we did.
yes, we did.
Yeah.
Cause yes, we definitely did. Um, and I think it was like late 2019 that we recorded that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what's hilarious though is that ended up not getting released until, was it December 21?
December 22.
No, December 21, man. Wait.
No, because all of
Oh
season
yeah.
1 was 23.
Jeez. Wow,
Yeah,
thank you.
December 22 is how long it took us to
Crazy.
release that.
So it was 2 years after the initial recording that
Yep.
that it actually
Yeah.
got released.
Yeah, well, we sat
Uh,
on it, we talk about it, and, should we record? And you'd come down and bring microphones, and we'd be like, "Alright, we're gonna do it, but let's have some beers first," and then,
and then we drink
I
too
don't know.
much.
We'd drink a bunch of beers, and I think I'd be like, I was, like, nervous to do it, and then, I don't know what happened, man, but we were like, "Look, we're just gonna do it. Let's get a theme song. Let's get some artwork. Let's make this happen."
Well, I think
Yeah.
ultimately because, we moved to Oregon
Yeah.
October of 21. Um,
That's right.
and so, um, yeah, I think we're like, okay, let's actually like really start doing this.
Yeah.
And so it began. Um, no, you published December 21. I feel like it was.
I don't know. I'll look on Apple Podcast and find out. It's gonna say right here. It's
I'm
gonna say
gonna
right here.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Do it.
I am doing it. Oh, I'll be damned. December 22. Okay.
Ah,
All right.
vindication.
Huh.
But yeah, the reason we eventually pulled the trigger was because that first year that you were up in Oregon, we saw each other a handful of times.
Yeah.
You guys would drive down, you
We
were
would
coming
come
down
down.
seeing the
Yeah.
family, and
Yep.
then you would always come down and see us. And we saw each other a handful of times. We thought, oh, let's record, and then we just wouldn't get to it. And then we finally said, look, we've got to do this just to make sure that we don't lose contact again.
For sure.
Yeah. And so we started this. I mean, we started this for us, and we were like, hey, we'll publish it and, whatever. And I don't know. Somehow people
And,
started list. It's not like there's a lot of you. You all out there, like
and the
literally
few of
look
you
to your
that
left,
are
look
out
to your
there, the
right. That's all
consistent
the people.
listeners, thank you for bearing with us.
Yeah.
And sticking all the way through. If you're listening to this right now, and you've been listening to us forever, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if
Yeah.
this is the first thing that you've listened to from us, I promise you things are much funnier and there's far better than, I mean, don't be wrong, this is pretty cool what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting a little teary-eyed just reminiscing and everything. Um,
Absolutely.
but it for me it's crazy to think that what we originally started as a means to for us to just stay in contact with each
Yeah.
other all the time has branched out into how many people have we met from this now?
The
Like
number of
I
cool
can't
people we've
even
got to
count the
meet.
amount of people that we've met or
Yeah.
I wouldn't like when I would normally go to a brewery with Monica, we would just hang out and drink beer. Yeah, we would maybe talk to the beer tender a little bit and everything, but I wouldn't necessarily make it a point to find out all the deeper details with a brewery and attempt to meet, a head brewer or owner of a
Yeah.
brewery.
Yeah.
And now I've met so many. And
Yeah.
it's really cool. I yeah, it's really cool to have met such amazing people so far.
Yeah.
All from something that just originated with just you and I wanted to, just communicate more. So
And
yeah,
it's the yeah, same thing. Meeting these amazing brewers. Anytime you and I are out together, we'll just hey, mind if we ask you some questions and just chat with them? Sometimes we don't have a camera with us, and we just chat these guys up and just meet them and find out stuff.
yeah.
We go to amazing restaurants. We talk to people,
Yeah,
and
not just breweries, amazing chefs and general
yeah,
managers of restaurants.
oh
I
yeah,
like it's I feel like some of these places I go to because we've, talked to them so much and gotten to know them, like I go in there and I feel like I'm kind of treated like royalty. It's not something I would expect at all, but like
yeah,
I just it's just a warm, loving, fuzzy feeling that I get with a lot of these places that I return to because
yeah.
they just remember us or meeting me or meeting Monica and just the connection that we've created with them. So
Yeah, and you do, and you make that connection. And listen, everybody who's listening right now, all four of you. No, there's there's a handful more, but everyone who's listening right now, people who have listened from the beginning, you've seen us kind of evolve and grow and get comfortable with what we're doing. And sure, we have a long ways to go, right? We're not professionals by any means.
yeah.
I mean, we used to do this stuff in high school 100 years ago, but we're learning it as we go. But here's something that a lot of people may not know is you see Nick and you see this person who's constantly coming on here and just like, "Hey, I talked to this person and let me tell you all the stuff that they shared with me about their passion and their dream." And you know what I mean? Like you see us get on and just we grab somebody, we interview, and we talk, and you wouldn't know that before this show. And Nick, I'm going to say it. Nick, you were not a person who is going to walk into a place blind and just be like, "I'd like to talk to the brewer and I'd like to get to know him and spend." You know what I mean? And I
Yeah,
really feel like through this, it's been
absolutely.
like it's just this thing we do now, which is
Yeah.
it's really cool. Yeah,
It is. And then that excites me to continue to keep going to new places and everything because now I want to meet all the people.
yeah, yeah,
I love picking people's brains. And that's how, for me, it ends up being a learning experience for me to kind of, especially with meeting, chefs and everything, and getting inspired by things that they do. And then I end up trying to recreate or end up making new things at home. So,
yeah,
but I feel
yeah,
like I've never owned any home brewing equipment, but I feel like that's somewhere out on the horizon for me,
yeah,
and getting some home brewing equipment and potentially start kind of getting up and going with that. So, but yeah,
yeah. And and additionally, we've got our patrons, of course,
yeah,
who we love. I mean, amazing people are patrons. Realistically, that we don't have a lot of them, but we've gotten to know our patrons really well, and just really amazing, interesting people. That first of all, it's an amazing thing that people want to support us in what we're doing, right? Like you came to us as strangers and like what we're doing, want to support it. That means so much to us, so much. But then we've also gotten to know our patrons. Of course, none as well as we know Billy, right? Because We've gotten to spend a lot of time with Billy.
For sure.
But our other patrons as well. We've gotten to communicate. We've gotten to find out what you do. We want to know you more. But then also other fans who, we've gotten to interact with. And some folks that, right? I mean, I always throw this back. Matteo in Milan. What
Yeah,
a cool thing that was. Like,
totally.
all right,
I would
Matteo
have
from
never
Italy.
expected to do something like that so soon in us, kind of doing this podcast. But that I
Yeah.
attribute you to also you becoming very active within Reddit,
Yeah.
to kind of conjure up some talk and everything about the
Yeah.
podcast and everything. So
Yeah.
um that you're definitely more social in manner than I am. But um
Well, and it's to give a little more background. I do for my work. I do personal injury law, right? So people get hurt, they come to me, and I help them get what we call money justice, right? Just it's I can't make you not hurt, but I can get you compensation for what happened to you. And a lot of
yeah.
people are, the ambulance chaser. Listen, we haven't been allowed to chase ambulances in like quite a few years now. Okay, so it's not like I don't chase ambulances, right? I mean, if one goes by, does my heart rate increase? Yeah, it does. But no, I'm just kidding. But um, that's what I do, right? Somebody's been victimized, and I help them get compensation for it. So I talk to people all the time, all day long. That's all I do is I'm on the phone, I'm writing emails, things like that. I'm talking to people constantly. So that's a thing that I do. And I don't know. I think it serves me well in what we do here. I get to just reach out to people and talk to them.
Yeah.
Nick, your skill set is something that I don't have 100%, right?
What is my skill
Your
set?
your work skill set, Nick. Nick, constantly I was like, I read this article and it said this computer word, and I don't know what the fuck it means.
I yeah, it's my skill set is very interesting. Um I've ever since I was a kid, I was always into just tinkering with things, whether mechanical or electronic.
Yeah.
A lot of electronic things as a child that I had ended up taking apart. Um Not my Nintendo though, because Nintendo had some pretty stiff security screws that I could not get by.
Yeah.
Um, but same with my Game Boy. But any like RC car that was just out of the box bought and everything, those were taken apart. And then I realized, oh, I can buy RC car kits and I can build them even better.
Yes.
Um, and then I had always had a love for cars when I was young. And when I got out of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I love cars. And my dad, for years, had been working for the community college district as an electrician, and then eventually as a building inspector because they're just constantly building new buildings on the campuses.
Yeah.
And he was friends with all of the teachers at in the automotive technology program there, and so I ended up going to automotive school there. It was a 3-year automotive program, and then ultimately became an automotive mechanic. And I did that for like 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
Um, was the industry kind of took a dip at the time? I was laid off, and then shortly after that, I broke my wrist ice skating. Um, little little tidbit: I used to play ice hockey as a kid, so ice skating wasn't anything new to me.
Don't
And in
don't
the
listen to Nick. It was very much like the Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan thing, only instead of taking a club to the knee, took a club to the wrist while he was doing a triple Lutz. It was a whole thing.
right,
It ruined
yeah,
ruined his Olympic dreams. Yeah.
it was awful. So yeah, I after breaking my wrist, I figured, okay, well, wrenching on cars probably isn't a good thing anymore. So
No.
I went into I found a school to get some kind of basic IT certificates and everything because I was like, well, I'm good with computers, so let's do this. Um, and so I went to that school, paid a bunch of money for it. Um, only got completed a few certificates out of it, but honestly, the money that I spent was well worth it because I ended up networking with some amazing people,
Yeah.
and making some great friends. One of them, our great friend Fox.
Fox.
Yeah, and then from there, I got into technical support, and that's my thing. I like helping people, especially in a technical sense.
Yeah.
I love, kind of breaking things down into simpler terms for folks. But in some cases, or at least the last job, I worked in technical support, but I was supporting people that were already technical. So, um, and now it's about to get even more interesting because now I'm going to be supporting developers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
supporting developers when I've never developed anything software wise myself. So now I'm quickly learning Python. If for anybody not familiar, that's programming language.
Yeah,
Taking me,
it's not something he's studying up for the, OnlyFans page.
yeah, no, for sure.
Handling
Um,
pythons.
but yeah, no, only Pythons. Um, that that could be something so much different. Um, but yeah, no, my thing has always been that I can, give me the information and I'll absorb it and learn it in
Yeah.
a short amount of time and make things happen. So
Yeah.
that's actually what I did to get this new job. There was some concern in my technical abilities because of my limited experience with programming languages and um, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And so they gave me an assignment to kind of prove myself. Um, and the assignment was to make a basic app that interacted with this generative AI and solves a problem for me.
Yeah.
Um, I was like, okay, well, I've never really coded anything before, and I have no idea what problem I need to be solved. Um, they knew about my I talked about our podcast,
Yeah.
and so they suggested why not do something surrounding your beer podcast. And so I was like, okay, all right. And I thought long and hard, what is a problem that I need to solve surrounding our beer podcast? Um, and oddly enough, as much as I love beer and doing this podcast, I struggle to remember what episode we talked about certain things.
Me
So
too. I think it's because we're drinking during the episode.
so what I did was, through our amazing platform that we use to record these episodes remotely, it also creates a transcript of our
Yes.
recordings.
Yes, it
So,
does.
um, what I did was I downloaded the last 15 episodes of transcripts and I wrote a Python script that, full disclaimer, and I also told them this too, and they were impressed with my ability to quickly utilize Chat GPT to help me write the framework of this code. Um, and so, granted, Chat GPT did a little bit, but I had to go and plug in a lot of the other stuff and everything, and also got a little bit of help from my friend Jeff,
Yeah.
and whom also learned a few things about Python along the way. But anyways, you choose an episode that you want to ask it questions about, and then you write in your little prompt to send to the AI. And when you click send prompt, it sends your prompt, but it also sends the episode transcript to give the AI context of the question you're asking it. So I
Yeah.
could be like, what did we discuss in this episode? And the AI will return a response, usually a few paragraphs, explaining what we talked about in an episode. Um, I could even ask it, who did we talk to on this episode? And it'll tell us who we talked to.
Yeah.
So it's a very rough app and everything, but I actually intend to develop this further with my newfound skills.
Yeah.
And hopefully at some point we'll have kind of a little website up more than just, our link tree for the podcast.
Sure.
And if you want to ask the Hobby Trails AI, about certain things from an episode, you'd be able to do so.
Very nice.
So
If you notice our episode descriptions start getting better and more accurate, it's going to be because of Nick's AI. Yeah.
I've promptly become a great prompt engineer. For
Yes.
those of you familiar with AI, you'll know what that is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but I mean, I'll be working for an AI company, and up until 2 months ago, I had never interacted with AI before. The most
Yeah.
interaction I had with AI was using Zencaster, because Zencaster uses AI to pull out all the background noises from our audio.
Yes, it
That is the
does.
most interaction I've had with AI up until 2 months ago. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, and I
Yeah.
think the words that were used in that interview when I gave the demo was, "That's impressive."
There you go.
And
Yeah.
I turned that around in a week.
Which and this is what I've always said about Nick. He's as I've said, he's multi skills. But the big thing that he has is the ability to learn things, take them in very quickly, and then have that become a core part of his skill set. Which is, it's really amazing. It's an amazing thing to watch. It is, except for um, mounting car stereo amplifiers in what type of car?
Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Hey,
Well, I mean, you
I'll
learned it.
attribute that to, I was only like 19 years old. It was before my frontal cortex was fully developed. And it is what it is. I whatever. Would I do it
Tell him what
again?
happened. Tell him what happened. Go ahead.
Probably not. I mounted an amplifier in the trunk of a Mercedes Benz,
Sure,
on
as you'll do.
the back wall of the trunk. Nobody told me the back wall of the trunk, between the seat back and the trunk, is the gas
Yeah,
tank in the car.
gas tank.
Like, what
Yeah,
kind of nonsense is that?
I think it's a bad place for it
That is a
personally.
bad place for the tank. You know
Yeah,
where other cars put it? Underneath the back seat.
underneath the back seat.
Yeah.
Just I mean, just for listeners who don't know, what happens when you mount an amplifier there?
Well, you put holes in the gas tank, and
Yeah,
then you'll get a strong smell of gasoline inside the car.
you sure do. Yeah.
I I know what their problem is. I love the smell of gasoline. It would be even better if it was a diesel Mercedes, because I love
There
the
you
smell of
go.
diesel even more.
You know,
I know.
make it smell like certain kinds of certain West Coast IPAs. I'll be honest with you.
Between cannabis and beer, and fuel, I love diesel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A little sour diesel. What's wrong
Yeah,
with that?
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. Listen, that's enough of a trip down memory lane. I was like, look, Nick, we'll talk about this for like 10 minutes. Here we are, like an hour into it. But look,
Wow, it really is an hour into this. That's crazy.
it is. You know what we might do?
Get to know
Here's
your
what we might
host.
do.
Yeah.
I think this will be its own episode, and then we'll record a separate introduction for the for the interview, because there's no way I can go to an interview after this, Nick. This will be this got to be a two-parter.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm sure there's some things that could be cut out.
I doubt it. This is all pure gold. So either, now watch this. The magic of editing will fix this. Either stay tuned after the break for an interview. We'll be right back. Or
Or
I guess the only thing that's left to do is tell everyone. Always say yes to that happy ending. We'll see
always
how
say
it turns out in
yes.
editing. We'll
Oh
see what
man.
happens in editing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Rocking. Dude,
cheers.
cheers, man. This has been great.
I love it. This has been a very good episode. I've enjoyed. Listeners, listen. If you enjoyed this, give us a little bit of feedback. Let us know. If you listen and you're not on the Discord server, hit us up. We'll get you an invite to the Discord server. Get on there and we chat. We share all kinds of different stuff. Send us an email to, what is it? Contact@hoppytrailspod.com, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Contact@hoppytrailspod.com.
Yeah.
Usually you have to be a patron to join the Discord, but the off chance that you happen to be listening to this is the
Yeah.
open invite. This is the only open invite through this episode.
Yeah.
that you will get the open invite. So
There you go. That's
you have
it.
to you have to reference which episode number.
Yeah. There you go. Hit us up. Let us know. We'll get you in
A
there.
secret password
Uh-huh.
is the beer flies at midnight.
The beer flies at midnight. That's it. So
That's
remember
it.
that. Write that down.
So in order to get in the Discord, you need to tell us the beer flies at midnight.
Beer flies at midnight. Contact at hoppytrailspod.com. Where else can people find us, Nick?
They can find us at Hoppy Trails Pod on Instagram. That's the
Yeah.
only social medias that you're going to find us on.
That's
Because
true.
fuck all the rest.
Fuck them all. Yeah. We don't TikTok. No.
No
No, we do
TikTok.
not.
No Bookface. No,
Nope.
no X Twitter.
Nope. We don't shitter.
Nope. No shitter. I can't think. No Space Mize.
Nope. No, we do not.
No.
Nope.
Just the Instagrams.
Instagram.
And
Instagram.
and Threads, but Threads is kind of Instagrams. But
Threads is
Instagrams is also
Instagrams.
Facebooks, but we don't have a Facebooks, so
No Facebooks. No. No, we do
Yep.
not. Well,
maybe an OnlyFans.
I mean, definitely an OnlyFans. We're just not going to link it. You got to find it. You got to work for it.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's out there.
Well, now I'm going to tell everybody it's all that's left is to remind everyone to always say yes to that hoppy ending.
Always say yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The preceding podcast was produced by Sequoia Productions, LLC, copyright 2022, all rights reserved. If you enjoyed this show and you're looking for more, or even if you're looking for something a little different, check out the other amazing shows by Sequoia Productions, wherever you get your podcasts, or on sequoia.com.
Hoppy trails to brew until we drink again. Hoppy trails to brew. Keep sharing with your friends. Who cares about which IPA tastes better? ABV are just a couple letters. Hoppy trails to brews until we drink again.
Excellent, brother. Excellent.
Yeah. That was good. I may release this just as a standalone.
Sure, I'm down with that.
Yeah. It's good. I'll go through. I may trim a little bit, but I think it's a good standalone.
Sounds good.